So we know promises are real and true, ready to work for you. Reporting, Sonia, reporting, Sonia, reporting, Sonia, reporting. Civil servants get downgrade, can't get a raise and pay. All of them falling crying tears.
Good night, St. Philip West. It's a pleasure to be here tonight supporting my colleague. A pleasure. Could not have picked a better person to represent you. I want to talk about some of the things that have basically are being said about the three of us, Indar, John King, and myself, on the DLP platform. There's very little, but one of the things, I don't know too much about SWIT, but one of the things Michael Lashley insists on calling John King is a Johnny my boy. Johnny come lately, sorry. Yeah, that's it, Johnny come lately. But I want to tell him tonight that Johnny did not come lately. Johnny was around ever since. He was a social worker for years at Dodds, looking after your children, the troubled youth in our country, and the number seems to be growing every day. He gets to see what the stressed out youth looks like, what unemployment does to our young people when their mothers and fathers come home, either being made redundant or their hours are cut. I know many hotel workers that were working 6 days a week and now have been cut down to 3 days a week. These children live it every day. These children get up in the morning and don't have anything to eat. This is real, ladies and gentlemen. I met a lady, well, a patient of mine. She told me that her son, every day one particular boy was beating him up, and she could not figure out why. And the young gentleman had the guts a day to ask him, why is it that you always picking on me? And he said to him, you know, your mother always sends you to school with lunch, and I don't get any. So what she started to do is when she packs a ham cutter for her son, she packs 2 or 3 for the other children. There are children out there that do not eat breakfast. So imagine a child, parents not working, which means they're probably miserable and stressed because they can't feed the children, getting up in the morning, no breakfast, going to the bus stop, waiting 3-4 hours for a bus unless they pay the $2 if they're lucky with one bus for the PSVs, going to school on a hungry tummy, expected to learn. Obviously, you can get the violence coming out. Obviously, John King gets to see that every day when Ronald Jones is somewhere in the sky doing nothing and insulting teachers. John King just gets to see that every day. And the Barbados Labour Party, when we get in, we will do something about it. We will make sure these children are safe. We will make sure that there are counselors, enough counselors and social workers like John in there to do something about it. This is what Johnny come lately gets to see. Johnny has been around a long time. He was here to watch Barbados going to hell in a handbasket. He was here to watch the South Coast run into ruin with the sewage. I pass through it every week on my way to the bank, every week. Right now, my car needs washing, but I'm almost frightened to touch it. He got to see that. He got to see the Democratic Labour Party leaving it alone for almost 2 years. When residents are crying, when residents are moving out with the children, one I know personally, his grandchildren were getting gastro every other week because it was seeping into his house. Johnny got to see that. Ask Michael Lashley if he got to see that. Ask Eswick if he even showed up, how long it took him to get there. Never mind Frandl Stewart. I think we're still waiting on him. And if he didn't come then, he's certainly not coming a couple of days before election. Johnny was around a long time to see the water wars in St. John, where he went to school. He was a large boy. He got to see the water wars in St. John. I have a sister that lives in St. John, put in an extra tank, end up buying 3 tanks to support her family with the water. But if there's no water, you still can't fill the tanks. St. Joseph is going through it. St. Peter is going through it. Johnny come lately got to see that when Eswick was home in a fancy shower. This is Johnny come lately, as they call it. Johnny got to see jobs being pulled away from people, young people coming out to university if they were lucky enough to get through university before the tuition changes. He got to see those people taking jobs where they deserve better. UE graduates taking jobs in supermarkets, packing goods, and being cashiers, and in the gas station. I'm not saying anything is wrong with these jobs, but when you struggle for 3 or 4 years in UE, you expect better. Johnny come lately got to witness that. Where was Ronald Jones? Johnny come lately got to see that young people aren't given the opportunity with agriculture. I met a lot of people on the road just want a little piece of land to rent. A little piece of land or help with irrigation to grow some crops or to get into animal husbandry. Johnny come lately got to see that when Eswit was nowhere to be found. There are boys I meet, well, young men, that are crying out just for the opportunity. People want to make money for themselves. This handout thing is long gone. Nothing makes a man or woman feel as much pride as being able to get a salary and feeding the children. Johnny come lately knows about that. Because he was walking St. Philip West, I know because we've become good friends. He was walking St. Philip West from the day of his nomination and working before that. Johnny was around a long time to see the middle class disappearing. Things like allowances, I got hurt by that. Things like mortgage interest you can no longer claim for. Things like house repairs you can no longer claim for. I used to save my money in a credit union so that I could get back a little bit in the taxes. All of that has disappeared under the Democratic Labour Party. The middle class, Barbados cannot survive without a middle class. They're the ones that hire the maids and the gardeners and somebody to wash the car when they go to work. My car nasty, but every little bit counts. Don't mind the doctor title. I struggle like everybody else. My office has been cut in half in terms of people, and the half that left back, half of that half can't pay me. And the other bit of it can pay me, but pay me later. And the other part that left out, I tell them go and buy the medication and pay me later. This is what Barbadians are living through. Anybody overseas would think I am lying, but this is what we are going through every single day over the last 10 years and getting worse by the minute. I met a young gentleman when I was canvassing my constituency, Eastbourne area. And I have no reason to stand up here and lie. I got evidence on like the Democratic Labour Party. I talked to people on like the Democratic Labour Party. And he was in UE. And he got to go through the fact that his mother got ill. She did not know he could not afford it anymore, and he dropped out. She did not know this up until the minute she died. And the one thing that she left him with is, son, I am proud of you that you are getting through UE. She has died and he was kicked out. This is what the Democratic Labour Party is doing to our people. The playing field is no longer even. So you're sitting beside one of the children of one of our ministers and knowing full well that you will not have the same opportunity as them. Knowing full well this is what Barbados has come to. And Johnny come lately knows these things. I have come across single parents, single either by death, their spouses have died, or single otherwise, that are struggling under this NSRL and the increased VAT. Middle class people I've met middle class people, beautiful houses on the outside, and when you're going to tell you I'm a doctor, so people tend to tell me things. They tell you, Doc, my husband and I have been living off of biscuits and sardines for a couple of weeks. One told me she and her husband were digging between the car seats to get change to buy a pack of ramen. This is what my people are going through. And it really hurts me. I am witness to a healthcare system that is not supporting our elderly. And now I have people that I have to figure out how to get them under control again. after the drug service made a mess of things. These things hurt. And it has nothing to do with politics. This is the problem of being a doctor. You take home the blasted work with you. I saw 3 little children at the bus stop yesterday. Can't get to school at 9:30 in the day. Put them in my car and carry them, because this is foolishness that my people can't get an education. Thank you. I am sorry. I apologize. Things are hard. I go in the supermarket every week, sometimes every 2 weeks. I have a little girl that I sacrifice. I bring her with me to almost every meeting because I want to see Barbados do better. 2 nights in a row, she fell asleep at the back of a truck because the fight is real for our country. I make up a bed for her at the back of a pickup truck. This is what I go through to fight for my people. And where is Michael Ashley? The best he could do is to call me Dr. Boo Boo. The best he could do is call John King, Johnny come lately. The best he could do is call Indar on the wear. Has he nothing better to give? I got a whole big manifesto. If he want bar 2 points, he can have them. They do not care about you. I guarantee it, they do not care about you. Over the last few weeks, I am sure Michael Ashley, he's in Blaisdell now, and I want to finish up here at some point to go up to hear what he has to say. He can't show up. Nothing. He cannot show up in public because he has what he has not, I don't want to call it, but accounted for. He is not sharing. People in St. Philip North are suffering. I met an old gentleman that the house is falling in on him. I kid you not. You look through the window, I guess he was too ashamed to open the door. He peeped through the window. He couldn't hear well. You could smell the urine from the front step. And Michael Ashley ain't got a clue that man in his backyard. Not a clue. He will know now by the end of tonight, by Thursday, he must know. He must know. Just the other day, I know because I am privy to information with respect to the schools. I love education. Grade and Sealy, those children were at school till 7 o'clock in the night. I heard that private coaches have had to be hired to get home those children. How they going to do homework when they get home at those hours? Then to get her early to stand up at a bus stop. People are suffering. I met a lady who lives a little distance from the main road. Her daughter has Down syndrome. She has written letter after letter after letter asking that the bus just come to the front row to get that child to school. They tell her, no, find your way to 6 roads or you won't get in a bus. This could be fear. This could be fear. They have no heart. That is just it. That is just it. And it is frustrating to know that these things are happening in our country. And then people say the parties are the same. Which part? I wasn't a DLP or BLP before getting this. Yeah, my father voted for B most of the time. I can't tell all the time. But I wasn't a B or D. But I did my research and I realized that things under the Democratic Labour Party are always hard. BLP is always sent in to rescue us. And we got to do it again. But we don't get tired. If we got to do it, we will do it. This is where we came from. They're taking credit for a lot of crap. Yes, our brother had things to do with education, but Barbados Labour Party is who started it in the secondary schools. Barbados Labour Party is who started, remember the milk and biscuit we used to get? Who you think started that? Barbados Labour Party started it. So when people stand up and tell me that Barbados Labour Party and Democratic Labour Party is the same, I beg to differ. I beg to differ greatly. And the best thing they could do is to ask where the money coming from. The money has to come. Education is not a privilege, it's a right. Not going hungry is not a privilege, it's a right. Everybody needs to eat. I got people that telling me they will eat supporters of the Democrat Labour Party, they will eat breadfruit and potato every year. I asking you if you think Eswit and Lashley and Adriel Bradford eating breadfruit and potato every day. Why are we willing to suffer for them? You name Jesus? Only Jesus suffered for people like this. And they're only men. Nothing better than men. People living with biting the nails and hoping the phone don't ring because the bank calling. When you can't pay your mortgages, the bank is calling and you hear a Trini voice. And some of the things they tell you, you wonder if a Barbadian would have done it. I have people that telling me the bank calling and asking them to sell some appliances or go on the street and sell fruit to see if we can make any money. Please, seriously? And the Democrat Labour Party in government can get in there, can negotiate with the banks, and they choose not to. And they still have supporters. That's amazing. They still have supporters. They get on a platform and insult women. And you know women, sorry men, but women are the bedrock of this country. And we can hear it, and some of them sitting in the audience and take it. And people like Saku and Irene Sandiford smiling in the background. Them things don't make you vex. The gross disrespect is amazing. People can't save in banks because you can't figure out the interest. I personally went and shut down my bank accounts. I tell the girl, give me, this is foolishness. I could do better under my mattress. I literally told her that, shut the account down. And then they'll sell a whole set of bonds, which I know, I am wondering if they had intended to pay them back in the first place. Useless. I buy some, so I say, why? Anyway. But this is what Barbados has come like. The hospital, I have a patient. And the truth is a lot of my patients become friends of mine. This is why I'm so emotional with it. I have a patient that got ill, went into the hospital with what I thought, I mean, I can only look and say, what I thought was an obvious diagnosis. Stayed in casualty after he had to call a friend overseas to get the ambulance service to get this ambulance. He couldn't get one. Man had to call overseas to get somebody to beg for an ambulance. This is true. She got down to the hospital in the morning and got a CAT scan in the nighttime and died and left 2 children, one about to enter university and one in primary school. Where he supposed to find the money? He need a minister that's getting almost $17,000 a month. He's not. He's an ordinary civil servant that has not seen a raise of salary in almost a decade. Where is he supposed to find the money to send his daughters soon? Both of them will be ready. Where is he supposed to find the money to send these people to school? I know families like Sinclair, safe. They don't have to back an eyelid wondering how to send them to school. Don't mind what he tell you. But people that look like me and you can't do it. These things are going to put a halter and put in reverse. We're going to do something about that. These are the things that we are looking at to fix. Johnny come lately knew about the NSR and the VAT. No, this is one of the taxes. The weirdest one was probably the municipal solid waste tax. And you know, I asked Sinclair, well, tell me how y'all calculate it, because I really didn't understand. Because I have me and a baby at the time, more or less, in the house. And mine was something like, I think, $700. And people that producing more garbage were like 8, 9 people in the house was less than half that. And I, you know, curious, might ask, how y'all figure out what to do? He said to me, you had to find a way to get money from the middle class. This was the reasoning behind it. But those of you who have paid, good news, because over time, Barbados Labour Party is going to reimburse that ridiculous tax. I want back mine too. I could use it right now. I could use it just like the tax returns that we ain't get back yet though. Mine was 2014, yours is 3, you lucky? You lucky? And a man like Carmajan that can send back a little $500 and think that's enough, he right to send back the check. He right. We cannot be bought. And this whole notion that a vote costs money is foolishness. And it don't always be about money. Sometimes a little job that can last till elections finish. And I know my people in St. Philip live through this. Because most of Bayfield, most of Blaze Hill, most of Thickets got jobs in the NHC right before the last election. Guess where they went when the election done? Home. And you telling me these people even deserve a vote? A vote? This is what's happening, and they're getting jobs again, whether it be washing buses or what, they're getting jobs again. But you cannot blame a man for thinking, okay, I can get 2-3 months of salary because he got to feed his children. He has to feed his children. I don't be vexed with the man. I don't be vexed with one of my people I know was supporting me. I think she still is supporting me, but she got a little bit with the Democratic Labour Party, a job. And I tell her, don't, I am not offended. Go and do your work and feed your baby. I am not offended. But no stability. I ain't getting down and dirty like these clowns. You don't need to get down and dirty. The name calling thing is useless. What does it do for you is help you eat. Is get you to forgive them. Right now, Michael Lashley tied up in all kind of strings, all kind of thing. Now, I for one, right? Let me tell you, because I ain't a political pimp. I for one, I want to see him stand up in somebody's court and answer to these things. Now, I'll be very disappointed by the Mia Motley-led government if they don't see to it that he answer for some of these things. At least expose. Come and give it an account, right? If he innocent, so be it. If he innocent, so be it. But he has to stand up and account for something with these monies. I got people that apply for them houses in parish land. Don't let me go over. I got people that, 2 minutes. Let me finish this part. Apply for houses in parish land and river. Now all of a sudden houses allocated. And my people still home. I saw a lady today, her house burned down a few years ago with the electrical thing when the electricity went off. Remember sometime back Island Wide? Went to Lashy. Houses enough in parish land, think she get one? These are the kind of things they tell me I got 2 minutes, because I could stand out here whole night, because it's vexing. These are the kind of things we have to think about when we go to the polls in a couple of days. Ain't about friends, ain't about family. Like, I live in a, I feel like everybody's family, that's truth. Ain't about friends, it is not about family, it's about them, that little girl that went somewhere in here on me, and your little granddaughter, and his little son, that's who it about. It's not about somebody getting cussing on stage and who name who and blah, blah, blah. It's about you breathing and living the next day and laying down in your bed comfortable. Comfortable, knowing that no gunshot ain't coming through your window. It's about that. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you think about what I said. I apologize for getting the way I did. But it was long in coming. It was long in coming, and I'm kind of glad I got it out. I hope you get to hear me a little further before the elections, but you will definitely hear us after. We ain't going to tell you we ain't coming back. We will be here with you, through thick and thin. We will breathe the same air as you, not like Michael that on some sort of level, and Adriel Brathwaite and Eswit. The air up there nice and free and thin, ours a little foggy. We will be here with you, rest assured. There you go. Well, have a good night. Thanks so much for listening. All the best.
Can't get a bus no night or day. 10 years just